Hi my friend, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. If you are new here, welcome. Today's video, we are going to make one of my favorite breakfasts for my family. It is biscuits and gravy, y'all. It is my favorite comfort food. Anytime I get in my feelings, I'm just like, what is comfortable? And it is definitely biscuits and gravy. So here's everything that I use: buttermilk, sugar, flour, heavy whipping cream, baking powder, salt, unsalted butter. And y'all, do not come for me. If this is not how your grandma makes biscuits, that's okay. Today I am showing with you how I make my homemade biscuits, and that's okay. So we are getting started with taking the butter out, and I'm going to put that butter right in the freezer. That way, while I am mixing up my dry ingredients, my butter is sitting in there and, getting really, really cold. The trick is you want really, really cold butter. That is what gets you that moist and, just an excellent biscuit. I'm getting my pots out, my bowls. I'm getting my bowls out and getting them ready to mix my dry ingredients. I am starting with flour. My homemade biscuits, I'm using 2.5 cups of flour, and I spoon it. I don't scoop it out with that one big measuring cup. I spoon it into the cup. And I ran out of flour, so I had to put some more in there. Thank you for Instacart. So I get my flour in there, and I'm going to finish up putting some more flour in. Again, I'm using 2.5 cups of flour. I use 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt. And after all my dry ingredients are mixed in, that's when I add that cold grated butter. Y'all, I absolutely love these measuring spoons. I got them as a Christmas gift, and who gets excited about measuring spoons? Me. I love the leveler, and I love that they're magnetic, so they stick together, so I'm not losing them all over the place. I just put them all, and they sit perfectly in my measuring cup drawer. I love them, and they have 2 sides. So there's one that's like more of an oval shape and one that's a circle shape. I'm going to link these in the description if you're looking for some magnetic, amazing measuring teaspoons, tablespoons. You're going to love these. So I'm putting my salt in, and I'm mixing it with the whisk. You got to wait and see. I messed up something, but let me know if you catch it. Now it's time to get my butter out the freezer so that I can grate it. And here's the thing, I do it 2 ways. I grate it with the grater, and then I also cut it in small pieces with the knife. You can do it however you wish, but this is just the way I do it because I've noticed I didn't like it grated completely. I like a mixture of both. So I've tried this recipe multiple times, and doing it both ways has made our biscuits really, really good. I like the chunks a little. I feel like when I cut them, you get a little more chunk of the butter. So I like it that way. I like doing both. And right here, I am using 2/3 cups of buttermilk and then 1/3 cup of heavy cream, and it's going to equal 1 cup. I will say I usually have to add just a little more just to make it not as dry. So I do it by eye. Like, I just look at it and I'm like, it's just a little too dry, so I add it. I don't know how much extra, but I just have to, I feel like I just let my ancestors tell me. And here's my mistake. Why was I trying to whisk flour, buttermilk, and heavy cream with a whisker? That's not gonna work. So now all the stuff is stuck in there. Do not make the mistake that I did. Do not try to whisk that. You can even use your hand. I was just using a fork. I typically use my hand, but you can use a fork or something. You do not want to over mix it. You don't want to make them tough. You want to just mix it just enough to where it looks like a ball. So now I'm doing it the right way. And like I said, I just eye it and add as much buttermilk. You can even add a little bit of water, but I just add a little bit of more buttermilk and a little more heavy cream, just so I can get it not so dry as I'm mixing it in. But again, use your judgment. I trust you. I believe in you. Like I said, this is just, I can eye it, so I can't tell you exactly how much to put in. I'm going to tell you something so funny is that I have not always been a great baker. I used to always be like, oh my gosh, I just wish I could bake. I wish that I was better at baking, and just constantly just doubt that I could. And then I had a girlfriend come over, and she actually sat with me and taught me how to bake my favorite cake. My favorite cake is red velvet cake, and I love it, but I'm always like, man, I can't get it unless somebody makes it for me, or I go to my favorite grocery store. And I really just wanted to be able to bake. Like, I love cooking, but baking was never my thing. And she showed me this easy biscuit recipe, and it has been a game changer because I love how thick they are compared to the canned biscuits. They are amazing. Y'all, I was battling with this parchment paper. Like, just go flat. Why are you being so difficult? So I was battling with that. And I just, like I said, trust yourself. You have to believe in yourself. That's what I'm learning. I have to believe in myself. Do not judge my biscuit cutter, y'all. I don't have a biscuit cutter yet. So I use this cup. I use the same cup every time. But it comes out so good. And another trick, do not twist your biscuit cutter. Whatever you're using, you can use a glass cup. Do not twist it. That will mess up your biscuits. We are going to pop these in the oven anywhere from, I would check on them at 8 minutes, but I usually keep them in for 9 to 10 minutes on 500. Yes, 500, okay? Washing my hands, as always. I have a question for y'all. How are you keeping your hands moisturized? I feel like I'm always cooking, I'm always cleaning, and my hands just get so dry because I'm constantly washing my hands after cleaning the counter, washing my hands after touching the chicken, washing my hands after making the biscuits, washing my hands after wiping somebody's nose or wiping somebody's bottom. How are y'all keeping your hands moisturized? Like, I just feel like I am constantly washing. And I talk about this often, but one of the things that I always do is I like to clean up as I go. So that way it does not feel as overwhelming and as messy when I am done cooking. So I'm unloading the dishwasher from the earlier dishes, and I'm going to put the dishes that I just used for the biscuits. I'm going to start putting those in there. There's the measuring cups and things. I usually keep like a little one of the kids' plates when I'm using the spoons and stuff, just so I can have, so it's not just going right on the counter. So yeah, I'm just getting those loaded. That way, as the biscuits are cooking, as my bacon and eggs are cooking, these dishes are washing. By the time we finish eating our breakfast, those dishes can go in, these dishes can come out. So it's just cleaning up as we go to make it easier, to make it feel less overwhelming. The goal is to cook and it just be enjoyable for you, and it's relaxing. But I would absolutely love to hear, what's your comfort food? Like, I love dumplings. I have not mastered that recipe yet, but I do. I like dumplings. I love, like, soul food is like, it's comfort to me. It just reminds me of my grandma, and it's just, I don't know, it's just comforting. But these homemade biscuits are my new favorite thing, and I'll get up in the mornings on our weekend mornings and just make them, and just thinking about, like, God, you're so good, it's so mighty. And I love this time just sitting in there and just kneading biscuits. It's so, I don't know, it's just so surreal too, because it's something that I did not think that I could do. Someone did ask me what I use on my countertop, and this Wyman is my favorite. Our biscuits are done. Look at how golden they are, y'all. I'm telling you, they taste as good as they look. They were so golden, just like the perfect touch of like brown at the top. And now I'm gonna put my bacon on because I don't want our bacon, I didn't want our bacon to get cold. So I put the bacon on after I take the biscuits out. And of course I can't cook the bacon on 500 in the oven, so they can't be in there together. So I put the bacon on. We like regular bacon. My daughter and my son like turkey bacon, so I'm making both because it's like Burger King, have it your way. And it's so funny. They're like, Mommy, but I want this bacon. And then next up, I make eggs for everyone in their own special way. Some people like mozzarella in their eggs and their scrambled eggs. Some people like just cheddar cheese in their scrambled eggs. Some want a fried egg. Some want a runny egg. So again, it is like Burger King, have it your way over here, which I love it for us because it is just a really good feeling when you're at home and you really can have it your way instead of paying somebody at a restaurant and you really can't have it your way. I have nothing against going out to eat. Don't get me wrong. I just like to be able to have my food how I like it, knowing who cooked it, who touched it. But we do go out to eat. It is something about eating at home. Next up, we are getting ready for the gravy, for the biscuits and gravy. And y'all, it is like chef's kiss. I use 1 pound of sausage, a fourth a cup of flour, 2 to 3 cups of milk. I added heavy cream too, and I liked it. So I did 2 cups of milk and 1 cup of heavy cream, and I really, really liked it. I've never used the heavy cream before. I've only used milk. But I don't know, the heavy cream gave it a little more thicker. I don't know, it just made it a little thicker. I am no chef by any means, so maybe you know why the heavy cream did what it did. I don't know, it just tasted good. And then salt and pepper, of course, and a little bit of my favorite seasonings. Like, I love Italian seasoning. Garlic powder goes in everything. The everything but bagel seasoning goes in everything, and I use the Tabitha Brown because I love her, and I use her seasoning on everything as well. So there I go, adding that 1/4 cup of flour, and it is just, again, this gravy. I'm telling you, it came out so good with the sausage, and I use just a mild sausage because my kids don't like it too spicy. And then I put in 2 cups of milk, and then I used heavy cream, and I used 2 cups of milk and then 1 cup of heavy cream, and it was so good. I seasoned it a little bit. Again, I didn't measure the seasonings. I just know, like, okay, you don't want it too salty. You do not want it salty. So just a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and whatever your favorite seasonings are. Some people are all garlic powder, onion powder. I could have put some onion powder in there, and I didn't, but neither here nor there. It was so good. My bacon's done. I'm putting it on the paper. Again, turkey bacon for my babies. Me and my husband like regular bacon, and my other son, he likes regular bacon too. So I'm about to move this gravy over because now that everything is done, I'm going to start cooking the eggs. Because like I said, every single one wanted a different type of egg. So my gravy is going to just kind of like simmer in the back over there. And I am using that bigger eye to make my eggs. Y'all, check this out. I'm using a little bit of the bacon grease, okay? My grandma used to do this. But I put a little bit of bacon grease, a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, and that's how I get our eggs so tasty. That bacon grease, and it's not a lot, right? It's not a lot. It is just enough. That just makes it so delicious. You taste a little bit of the hint of bacon. And I mixed that in. Cameron just wanted scrambled. Him and Ava wanted scrambled eggs. So got them eggs scrambled, putting the bacon on everybody's plates. so we can get ready. Because the eggs, eggs don't take long. And I never want to cook eggs too early because they're gross cold. So getting their eggs started, and then next up I'm doing my Mason's eggs, and then my eggs and my husband's eggs because he likes his a little runny. Y'all, you see how high those biscuits are? Like, canned biscuits don't do that. They do not do that for me. So I love this recipe, and it's not super hard. I just overcomplicated baking, and especially baking homemade biscuits. I was like, oh my gosh, that has to be something so hard. Like, watching my grandma, make them, I'm like, oh my gosh, but she made them so effortlessly, so I just thought it was something that I couldn't do. And do you see this gravy? And if you have a cast iron skillet, I suggest using that because it's just something about the skillets, maybe because all the seasoning on the skillets, but it just made the gravy even better. Putting everybody's eggs on, just a little bit of seasoning, not a lot of salt, not a lot of pepper, just a little bit of seasoning for our eggs. And this is the last egg, I think. This is the last egg. And now everybody's eggs are going on. Yeah, this is definitely the last egg because I split it for my husband because I thought he was going to have 2 biscuits. But the kids ate the last biscuits. So they had none to share, which I'm fine with because it means they liked it. And if you're a cook, it's nothing like people cleaning their plates after you cook. It's just such a good feeling, I did that. Okay, so everything is made. I got the biscuits warming up just a little bit so we can put either biscuits and jelly. Another option is biscuits with syrup. The third option is biscuits with the bacon, egg, and then I'll give them cheese. And the eggs are here. My husband likes his a little runny, so those are his. Then Mason and I get them fried. Ava and Cameron have them scrambled. That's the third option. So you can have bacon, egg, and cheese. You can have syrup. You can do jam. We like jam because it spreads smoother. And the last option is gravy. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing biscuits and gravy. It is my most favorite thing. Which one are you picking? Let me know in the comments. Now to get everyone's cups, I'm not sure if you watched this video yet. I'm going to make sure to link it. But I love how organized these cups have stayed since we've gotten rid of stuff. And it just makes it less junky looking, less cluttered looking, and I can see exactly what I need. I had piles and piles of cups, and I'm like, we use the same ones all the time. So why do I need a pantry, a cabinet full of cups? Our favorite orange juice, y'all. We love Simply Orange. And here's everybody's plates. They're gonna pick their eggs and the grapes. They are so excited to eat. And they're like, Mama, what are you doing? We all got our vitamins, and y'all, look at this. Just delicious. I really hope you try this because, again, it looks as good as it tastes. It looks good and it tastes good. And you see how wonderful those biscuits open? That comes from folding them and not beating them too much. You don't want to make them tough. But I hope that this was so helpful, so encouraging. And again, I just thank you so much for being here with me. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up.